Ladies and gentlemen, the final event of the evening. This is your main event. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's referee for this final match is none other than the legendary
Farmville, Virginia comes to their feet for UWF official Earl Hebner, the most controversial and most decorated official in professional wrestling history. And Mr. Main Event, Earl Hebner, will call this final matchup of the evening as everyone takes a breath from the X Division three-way.
Weighing over 350 pounds, he is the Monster of
The Monster Abyss looking more vicious and determined than usual because he knows that he has got the chance to soften up the NWA World Heavyweight Champion tonight in preparation for Lockdown on pay-per-view next week.
But I think this matchup could equate to much more than just a preview, because there is a ton of hostility between Abyss and Christian Cage after what we've seen the past few weeks, not even in a wrestling ring.
Abyss motioning around the waist. He wants the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. Abyss and Father Mitchell say it is his destiny to be the NWA World Champion.
And there's only one man that stands between him and that belt.
And that man has absolutely got a mission, not only to protect his championship, but to avenge his family. The NWA World Heavyweight Champion, Christian Cage, makes his UWF debut right here against Abyss in Farmville, Virginia.
A true World Heavyweight Champion. The model champion of everything that is great about the sport of professional wrestling. A world champion that didn't need a needle to get him to where he is today.
Harsh words from Grant Sawyer, but exactly right. Christian Cage did it with work ethic. He did it with dedication, and not dedication to diet supplements. He did it with dedication in the ring, being the best pound for pound from bell to bell every night is how Christian Cage became the world champion. And he carries that belt as proudly as anyone has ever carried the NWA World Championship. And he fires away at Abyss to start off this contest, and there's the bell.
Not surprisingly, Christian Cage trying to take it right to Abyss. You're going to see a lot of punches. You're going to see a lot of kicks, because there's a ton of animosity between these two individuals. But the one thing Christian Cage cannot do, he cannot overpower the Monster Abyss. He's going to have to hit and move. That's exactly what he's doing here.
But he can stop him with that big thumb to the eye. A charge from the champ. All that weight takes Abyss to the floor.
Christian Cage taking himself and Abyss up and over.
Of course, all the animosity stems from Father Mitchell, Abyss, and Alex Shelley going down to Tampa, Florida, invading the home of Christian Cage and stalking Christian's wife, Denise.
And what kind of man does it take to think of something like that, to just try and get your name out there, to try and get your spot in the NWA World Title picture?
Abyss, as formidable, as big and bad as he is in the ring, did not earn his upcoming world title shot by wins and losses. He got it by coaxing Christian into a fight to put the belt on the line. And now, Christian, you've got to believe, is out for blood.
And of course, Christian Cage, being the fighting champion he is, he's not going to turn down a challenge from anyone. Christian on the top rope, flying body press, taking Abyss down. Referee Hebner only able to get a, maybe not even a 2 there.
Abyss absorbed the dive and got out at 2. Christian putting the rights and now choking away at the monster Abyss. The animosity and the emotions are running so high, Grant, but you've got to believe Christian is going to be smarter to wrestle this big man.
Sure, that's always going to be Christian's strength, is to wrestle, but how can you mentally stay in the same state of mind to wrestle after you've had your family just attack the way Abyss went into Tampa, Florida and did that to him?
It was inside Christian's home the first time that these two men came to blows, and God only knows how many thousands of dollars of damage Abyss caused. Held Christian's head underwater in his pool, destroyed his living room.
And that's exactly why in lockdown in 1 week's time, these two will sell it inside the 6 sides of steel, and truly could be Abyss's shining moment, or even more so, James Mitchell's shining moment.
Boy, there is a tremendous tradition of the NWA World Heavyweight Championship in the state of Virginia. And man alive, if Christian Cage is not carrying on that tradition, Abyss tonight and Samoa Joe tomorrow night, 1 week away from going into Steel Cage on pay-per-view. Christian is doing that belt proud.
You're exactly right. I mean, no man should have to face the likes of Abyss and Samoa Joe in a month's time, in a year's time, but to face those two on back-to-back nights, that kind of schedule is what champions are made of.
That is the work ethic of Christian Cage that we talked about earlier. Just as you said, he did not become the world champion with dietary supplements. He does not look like a power lifter. He did not become the world champion by shacking up with the boss's daughter.
But the one thing he does is he looks like what a pro wrestler should look like.
And he epitomizes it from bell to bell. Christian Cage, the raw emotion that he elicits from this crowd, the crowd at the Impact Zone in Orlando, Florida, who rushed the ring in a show of just passion when he defeated Jeff Jarrett for that championship. That is what Christian Cage is all about, but he is having to absorb so much punishment from Abyss thus far.
Christian Cage trying to fire back on Abyss. Of course, just a little bit of punishment from Abyss goes a long way, but Christian Cage is giving it right back to him.
Oh, he eats the corner!
And hard.
Since winning the championship at the aptly named Against All Odds pay-per-view, Christian has been one of the most dedicated champions in TNA's history. He fought the alpha male Monty Brown and barely survived with his life. Took one tremendous beating from the alpha male, but survived. He is fighting Abyss tonight as well as next Sunday at Lockdown. Samoa Joe tomorrow. Everyone that is stepping up to Christian Cage, he will sign on the dotted line and face. He wants to do that belt proud.
Cage now trying to fire off an Abyss with some of those big chops off the ropes. Abyss catches him, coming in. Scott, Christian slips from behind, trying to fight for them prettier here.
He's working. Those arms of Abyss are so massive.
I don't know if he can hit Abyss with that. Abyss just too big. Shoves him right off, and the press. I'll tell you one thing. Some people, Abyss, hold on. Abyss with the cover, but just a 2 count. I'll tell you one thing. A lot of people, a lot of traditional wrestling fans may not look at Abyss as a possible world champion. But if you go back some 20 or 30 years, you ask the Funks about those wars with Inoki, about those wars with Baba. Yes, Baba, the giant Baba, was a former NWA world champion. People didn't take him seriously because he looked like a freak. That's exactly what you got in Abyss. This is definitely someone you should look at as a very possible world heavyweight champion in the near future.
You're almost comparing, maybe talking about the history of our sport, to maybe a Brody or an Abdullah. How many people did they maim? On any given night, they could have maimed the world champion and become champion themselves. Abyss is so capable of winning this title. That is what Christian has got to be on guard for.
Christian has got to wrestle smart, but like we've said before, how can you wrestle smart after what Abyss has done to not only yourself but your entire family? And crushes Cage in the corner.
Abyss will Abyss will dish out as much punishment as Christian can absorb. But the question ultimately is going to be who's got more in the tank as this match progresses.
Exactly, Abyss has the size, he's got the strength, but more often than not, Christian Cage is such a smart wrestler, he will find that one small silver lining and win it, going home on the leg drop.
Boy, that was uncharacteristic of Abyss to come off the ropes. You gotta believe Father Mitchell would have advised against that if he was here tonight. But TNA officials and the UWF management making every precaution to make sure that these matches on the UWF shows are kept at a level playing field. No managers or seconds at ringside tonight for Abyss.
God bless Hermie Sadler and the Hebners for trying to instill that sportsmanlike attitude, but now both men back to the vertical base. Haymakers by Abyss not connecting.
Well, I don't even want to venture a guess as to how long it's been since the NWA World Heavyweight Champion has faced his greatest rival in rural Virginia, but Hermie and the Hebners have made that possible again. Christian with a crucifix, no!
Slips down, smart thinking, because it looked like Abyss was going to drop, and he's still going to drop, but no one home!
Look at the hang time Abyss got! He was in the air, he was going to drop that weight! Back senton from Christian the champ!
Drives all his weight onto the chest of Abyss, but that's not enough to hold that monster down.
The champion Christian Cage. How often, if you still watch wrestling on Monday nights, do you watch somebody and go, man, I wish this guy was the champ. I wish this guy was the main event. Christian got it, and he got it his way. He came to a wrestling company. Reverse DDT off the ropes could be it. Only two.
Only two, but that's the kind of big offensive maneuver Cage has got to be able to consistently hit against Abyss to hold those massive shoulders down.
Christian came to a wrestling company and won a wrestling championship. The most prestigious wrestling championship in existence.
And there's no E in TNA, and Christian Cage is living proof of that. Hebner almost sandwiched there. Christian put on the brakes, but Abyss crushes Hebner in the corner.
Christian did not want to take the ref out. But Abyss, no regard for authority. Can he hit the Unprettier?
Christian's fighting for a second time, but once again, Abyss out of it. Picks Christian up. We've seen him hit him before. Torture rack break.
Torture rack drop. He dropped him into that backbreaker. But no official to make the count. That was 3 seconds. Abyss has just shown the world that he is capable of pinning Christian Cage.
The match continues with Hebner down and out in the middle of the ring, and who could blame him? He was crushed in the corner by Abyss.
Christian is just now starting to come alive. Abyss, I don't think he understands what's going on. He's yelling at the ring attendants. He's yelling at the ring crew, the ring announcers.
Christian better thank his lucky stars that the referee was down right there. Oh, Abyss has the NWA World title in his grasp.
Do you think he won it?
Without Mitchell there, who knows what's running through that monster's mind?
He's going to use the belt is exactly what's happening. Done. Now he drops the belt. Unprettier. He hit it on Abyss.
But the official is still down. Christian trying to roll Abyss over. We've had another 3 seconds, another pinfall. Both men have proven they can beat the other.
Mike Sparks!
Sparks in the ring with the count.
Abyss! Abyss!
Abyss survives the Unprettier, and this match continues.
Christian is distraught. He can't believe that Abyss survived his best shot.
Both men have hit their big-time maneuver, but this match is still going on. Christian with the belt.
Christian's got the belt. He's got to watch it. Oh, the emotion is getting the best of Christian.
Sparks snatches the belt out of Christian's hand, but that was the right thing to do. Christian would have got himself disqualified right then and there.
Black hole slam!
Are you kidding me? Sparks with the count. No! Somehow, my God, Christian Cage kicked out. How in the world?
If you can psych Abyss out, that had to do it. Christian absorbed the black hole slam. He looks like he's been run over by a truck, but he absorbed and survived the black hole slam. Abyss doesn't know what to do.
Note to all future champions, Christian Cage has proven what it takes to be a champ as Abyss now smarts.
Abyss is confused. That's always the end of the contest.
This match is falling completely apart. We still don't have a bell, now we don't have any official, and Abyss has just lost his mind.
It's almost become a 2 out of 3 falls match. Both men have scored with 2 finishers and lasted for longer than 3 seconds. Christian looks like he has been run over by a truck, but he survives the bell.
Oh, Abyss! Smart thinking by the monster!
How did that work?
Oh my God, Mitchell must have been yelling in his ear from some distant planet. Abyss now with the cover, following the belt shot. Hebner!
The smarts of Abyss. 1, 2. No! Cage survives again. Cage avoided the first belt shot, and Abyss had to be the best idea he's ever had. Came with the belt to the back of the head, but Cage is alive.
How far can the motivation for revenge take a human being? Christian Cage is proving it here tonight in Farmville, Virginia against the monster Abyss.
He's got Hebner. He's got, his official, Earl Hebner.
Christian trying to get to his feet. Low blow, unseen by Dave Hebner.
Earl Hebner. It's right there. There's the unprettier. Hebner is back on cover.
Earl with the count.
3. Christian Cage is successful against the monster Abyss.
What an incredible matchup from not only the NWA World Heavyweight Champion, but a monster that took him to his ultimate limits.
Oh, can you fathom what we're going to see in the 6 Sides of Steel at Lockdown? Can you fathom what's going to happen tomorrow night? Christian has survived a war. There is no other way to put it. He has survived a war, and tomorrow night, 24 hours, he goes into war against a man who has never tasted decisive defeat in TNA.
I personally cannot wait. And then, of course, in 1 week at Lockdown, tell me Abyss did not prove tonight that he has all the skills, all the tools, and all of that. In 1 week, he'll have Mitchell with him to try and wrest the NWA World Heavyweight title from Christian Cage.
The Black Hole Slam was survived. The Unprettier was kicked out of. But Christian finally pulled out his ace and used it to put away the chaotic monster Abyss. It is a celebratory mood in Farmville for the fightingest champion in TNA's history.